Welcome to first video from Chapter 8 dealing with hypothesis testing. This particular first video is just dealing with general notes. First of all, we want to note that a statistical hypothesis test deals with a conjecture about a population parameter and those parameters could be mu for the mean, could be mu, could be sigma, could be p, so that would be for the mean, the standard deviation, or the true proportion. This uses sample values. The sample values would be x bar for the mean, s for the standard deviation, and p hat for the true proportion. Just like what we dealt with in the confidence intervals, we looked at x bar and p hat. This conjecture may or may not be true. That's what the test would be to decide. When we are dealing with these hypothesis statements, we need to look at what's called the hypothesis statement, which has two parts. First, what's called the null hypothesis. And the null hypothesis has a symbol H sub O. That would be the null hypothesis. And it states that there is no difference in the parameters. The alternative hypothesis which is denoted H sub A, states that there is a difference. And those differences could be not equal to, that would be different, less than, or it could be greater than. Those are the three types of possible differences. We're going to look at an example here where we're just looking at the null hypothesis and creating it. With the problem here, it says the mean salary for beginning actuaries is said to be $75,000. A firm in Arizona states, and we're going to look at the possible situations that could bring up. first of all, if they say that it's not, or that it is different, then the null hypothesis would be mu equals, because we're talking about the mean, 75,000. The alternative, well, they said different. Different would be not equal to 75,000. You can think of a diagram on this with your normal distribution. Way up there and way down there. Those are the places that would be different. So for example, 70 million would be different. 0 would be different. So that would be the instance in that scenario. A second scenario would be they stated that it was less than. So they think that the actual value is less than the 75,000. The null hypothesis is still mu equals 75,000. This textbook uses strictly equal to for every one of their null hypothesis. The alternative would be mu is, well, they stated less than 75,000. Look there with our normal curve would be down here is less than. 40 million is not less than, so there's no trouble up there. 0 is less than. 70,000 is. 74,999 is less than. The question that we'll always be dealing with is it significant? Is there enough evidence to show a significant difference? The third type would be they stated greater. It's the same as the less, except the inequality. So null hypothesis is again mu equals 75,000. The alternative is mu greater than 75,000. So those are the three types of null hypotheses that you would be looking at when we're looking at the true mean of a population. As we continue with our hypothesis testing, we'll look at two types of tests for the mean. One technique will be the critical value approach. The other will be what's called the p-value approach. And we'll look at examples of each, and as we do that, we're going to look at steps along the way for each of these styles.